Before we start, we would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land we're recording on. For me, that's the Wangaburra clan.
And for me, it's the Wurundjeri peoples.
I think I've lost my last remaining marble, but they always grow back, it seems.
Marbles are growers in your head.
They have to be. You know what's really weird to me? Ever since
that the Jonas Brothers don't have any children yet?
Yeah,
it's so weird.
It's so weird to me that the Jonas Brothers don't have kids. That still weirds me out. No, ever since my surgery, my BO has changed.
Yes, that's anaesthetic. Oh, God. It's the worst.
So that's not. So it's not just me.
No, that's seeping out. That's the growth. Like, it takes a really long time, like up to 3 months for anaesthetic to leave your system. That's why you get so tired for so long. And
yes,
it's just chemicals, so it disrupts the balance of your staying.
It's so bad. Like, I'll shower morning, night like a normal human. Sometimes I only shower once because I live on a mountain. Nobody sees me. But I have to shower like all the time. And then I'll put deodorant on and all my essential oils. And no one's ever told me I've had BO before, but now that's why I smell myself all the time because I'm like, it's not me. It doesn't smell like me. Not even my sweat.
No, it's really. I got such a shock like after I just had my surgery in December. I was like smelt and went, oh, that's funky. Like, that is not me at all. It's so weird and it's everywhere. Don't wear any aluminium deodorant. Like, make sure you're just wearing organic deodorant because you really need to let your pores
let it out,
yeah.
Well, I just hope that people don't walk into rooms and they can smell it because I've asked my mum, I'm like, can you smell it? And she's like, no, but only you can. But I'm like, are you just being polite?
Yeah. Probably.
Anyway, that's what's really weird to me.
I can smell it from here and you're in Queensland.
God. That's saying something. Well, I just want anybody to know who smells me recently. This isn't me. It's my post-surgery body talking, and I don't smell like some weird middle-aged.
Don't worry too much about how you smell.
I don't care for anybody else right now. I care for my own self.
Yeah.
I don't want to smell it.
That's the worst thing is you roll over in bed and you get a whiff.
Ugh.
And you're like, oh, woofy.
I can taste it. I can taste it in my mouth. It's gross. But anyway, welcome back. I hope you liked hearing that little update about my stinky armpits. You're welcome.
And it's not just your armpits, I hate to tell you. But welcome. Yes, welcome.
Oh, no.
We are out of our houses, back in the studs. It's so nice to be going to work again, isn't it?
Yeah, I love being back in the studio. I feel like I'm like a naughty kid when I'm at home. I act up, and then when I'm out, it's like I'm a good kid again. I'm like, oh, I'm ready. Bring it on.
Yeah, I'm the opposite. I
there's
just muck around now.
You're just always mucking around.
I'm
crazy
mucking around
like that.
I live to muck.
You run amok.
What the muck? Yeah, that's right. I'm a mucker-uppera.
You truly are. Speaking of mucking around, but it's not mucking around. What we wanted to have a chat about dating red flags and how this got started for us. I mean, we always talk about things like this, but a couple of weeks ago, or maybe a week ago, I can't remember because there's so many episodes in 1 week. It's like a movie marathon of MAFS. Yeah, there was an episode where they have homestays or hometowns or whatever they call them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you remember.
Yeah.
And they all went to each other's places. There was this one particular couple, Selena and Cody, where Selena went to Cody's place. Cody's a 30-something-year-old grown-ass man who lives in a shared house in Sydney. No judgment there. Like, Sydney's expensive AF. We all have to have shared houses in Sydney.
He lives with another 30-something-year-old grown-ass man.
Which is, like, totally fine. That's not the issue. The issue was the state of the living environment, the spiraling effect of that living environment and the welcoming of his new bride was just triggering.
There just seems to be a thing with straight cis-het men who have this really weird sense of humour that is all about degrading women. And, his flatmate had a poster of her face on a girl's with her legs open and a watermelon in between them, which had a piece cut out of it, with a guy eating the piece of watermelon, which had Cody's face put on top of that. And that was one of the most hideous things I've ever seen. And she was so shocked and she was so awkward and uncomfortable, and they were laughing their heads off. And I don't know if it was a racist thing because she's Asian, if they had done that with a white woman, or whether the fruit would have changed. You know, if it was a black woman, my God, heads would have rolled. Just the house, I mean, they don't have any furniture. And I totally get that. You know, you don't have a lot of money when you move out of home, but they are 30-something-year-old. What are you spending your money on? You both got jobs, mate. Like
go to Kmart. Kmart is so cheap.
So cheap.
Nobody
was a fan next to her when she woke up in his Batman bed. Batman sheets. And a fan that was seriously from 1967 with cobwebs all over it and dust. Anyway, so hideous. A couple of episodes later, she's cleaning for herself. She cleaned it because she couldn't stand the stench of this place. So she was cleaning for them because they would not do it. Not for themselves, not for a guest. This is one of the biggest red flags to me. How many men I have gone back to their homes when I was in my 20s, their share accommodation or whatever, and they would live in these cum dens like that, like just so hideous. And they would have the audacity to tell me what was wrong with my body. Or tell me I was gross because I had pubic hair, or, you know, like, and they could not even piss into a toilet properly. Like, it's what is going on when people raise their children like this. And it's not just white men, because Al on Married at First Sight, he is a Chinese mother, and he doesn't know how to do washing. He didn't know how to cook an egg. He didn't know how to wash dishes. He's never done anything.
There's something about mothers and their sons that just weird. If I ever have sons, I'm going to make sure that they know how to do everything, because if you baby your sons forever, then they're only going to get a partner that they expect a mother.
Absolutely.
Figure. And that's just not fair. Not anymore. We don't. And you know why men don't change? Because like, well, look at my mum and dad. My mum and dad have the best relationship, and my mum does everything for my dad. It's like, well, they don't have the best relationship. Your mum pretends because she didn't know her worth, and she doesn't know any better. We know better.
Know how to get out.
And we're not putting up with your little unclean dick cheese foreskin and your pile of washing on the floor that's been sitting there since 1996. Like, Jesus did not die for this. He did not die for this. But that's just like red flag.
Red flag.
The thing that triggered me, like took me back, is that I got this feeling where I was really lucky at the beginning. I dated, like I had 3 really good boyfriends, one after the other, from like 16 to 21, and then I stopped dating, right? Like having boyfriends, and then I dated a lot from like 23 to 27 maybe. Just dating, you know the drill. And I would put so much of my worth on what these drongos thought of me. And I would lose sleep. And I look back now and I just want to shriek my little self. These guys that were in their 30s and I was in my 20s, they had shared apartments in Newtown, which again, Sydney's expensive. I get it. You know, they all worked bars.
Well, we were sharing.
We were sharing, but we were still adults.
Share accommodation's great.
It's the best.
It's how young adults get through life.
Of course. And I just remember this one particular time I was dating this guy that was quite a bit older than me. And he, like, you know, he was a grown-up, and his sheets were always fine. But I remember the house just always stunk. And there was always like, I just felt dirty every time I walked to the toilet, like I needed to have shoes on. And then he would give and take his love away from me all the time. And I was like, gosh, like what's wrong with me? And I look back now and I'm like, you were a grown-ass man. You had dirty sheets. Your house stunk. You treated me like shit, and I put all my worth into that because society, because that's what I was told. And I look back and I'm like, there was so many red flags. It wasn't until he actually said to me, and I picked him up drunk when I was doing like a 2-week detox of everything. Remember, I was only eating like lettuce, and I picked him up, and he was blind during the day, and he said to me, "You're gonna have to beep out this next bit." But he said to me when I said, "Can you just be quiet because you're really loud while I'm driving and your mate's in the back and you're being embarrassing," he said, "F up, c**t." And that's when I stopped. I stopped answering his phone calls and finally knew my worth. I stopped the car and I go, "Get out. You and your mate, get out." And he's like, "You're a f***ing bitch." And I was like, "Yeah. I'm a bitch that knows my worth now, and I'm out of here." And we never spoke ever again. He called and called, and I never answered.
Good.
But it took a long time.
Yeah, and it does sometimes. This is our PSA to anyone listening. If you are dating young men who live in hovels, if you are just going home with them, don't do it anymore. Here is your permission to stop doing it. If you are married to a man that you are still picking up wet towels for, leave him just for that. You are his servant. You are worth more. You know what? When you do, you're going to have a really great life without him. Really great. And then we're all going to set these wonderful precedents for men to start doing the work, manual work, the labour at home. When you are at home and you share a home with a man, that needs to be 50-50, no matter whether you're a stay-at-home mum or not. And if someone gets sick, one or the other one picks up the slack. We need to change this. This is your call out, ladies.
Come on, ladies.
Holding them accountable. Don't put up with it. And if you need help, DM us. We'll talk you through. We got you, girl. We got you.
Oh, do we ever?
We've always got you
around it. What are
leave
other red
your
flags?
husband. As Clementine Ford says, leave your husband. I think that's a good red flag. We can do other red flags at other times, but
do you reckon that's the main one?
It's such a big one, and people, I can't believe the contempt that women end up having for their other halves. And once you have contempt, your relationship is over. Know that. Every couples therapist will say that. Once the contempt comes, there's resentment. You can work with that. Once the contempt comes, it's over. That kind of behaviour, it builds resentment that eventually spills over into contempt. And once that's there, you got to go. How long it takes for you to leave is up to you, but make it short. Get out. Even get out before it gets to contempt. If they do not respect you when you say, "I need you to step up," they're never going to do it. No matter what you say, what you do. And stop compromising. Stop doing it for them, because it's just easier. It's just easier to win the war by choosing your battles. You know, he's a good guy in other ways. That he's no respect for you if he's letting you be his servant. And don't say that you enjoy it. There's a big difference between cooking for someone and loving making food and being beautiful like that. But I'm sorry, housework, keeping your abode clean and tidy for yourself and for the person that you live with is respect. It's basic respect, and it's a bigger one than anyone really likes to make the point of. So leave him now.
Run.
So I've been binging, all the stuffs at home, as we have been for forever, and as everyone is in their own homes. But I've been binging Byron Baes, this new Australian soft reality. It's not soft reality. God, it's softly scripted. It's not even softly scripted. But it's about these group of young adults living in Byron Bay, and they're all influencers of some sort. Have you watched all of it?
Well, of course. But of course. You're the one that sexted me the other day being like, "Have you watched it?" And I was like, I binged it in 2 days. But one of my friends is on it. So
yes. Who is hideous, can I just say. No offense to you. Hideous. Like, Oh my God. Just,
Yvie,
and
you don't like Jade?
you know, he's a bitch. And he's like lying through his teeth that he's been overseas, traveling everywhere like Turkey and Iran. Where are your photos? I went and had a look for his photos of his world travels that he's worked so hard. And I'm like, stop lying. You bought your followers. Own that shit.
Well, look, I can't comment because there's no proof in the pudding other than what we saw on Byron Baes. I've been told that they're not bought, so I just have to go off what my friend says.
That's right.
And support.
He's not my friend, and I can see as clear as day that he has bought those followers because no one in Australia has really ever heard of him. You're not huge in Turkey. For what? I mean, are you constantly posting about things that are happening in Turkey? Because my friend's in Turkey, and there is so much shit happening in Turkey right now. It is out of control. The femicide that is happening in Turkey, why is he not talking about that? He is not big in Turkey. These are bots. These are bought followers in Iran. And you know, I have that woman that I talk to from Iran, and I go onto Google Translate and I put everything that I want to say to her into Iranian, and she gets so excited that I talk to her in our DMs, and it takes me so long because she talks back to me in Iranian, so I have to Google Translate that to see her response, and she just loves it because she says no one ever tries to speak your language. I mean, and we all know what's happening in Iran. So how are those two of his biggest followers? And I went down a hole looking at his Instagram account.
Did you get in a Jade Kevin Foster hole?
I've got to see all these. There's going to be so many photos of Iran and Turkey. You know, he's huge in these countries. Well, not one. There's a lot in Cairns. There's a lot in Port Douglas. There's a lot on the Gold Coast.
Well, that makes sense.
Of what?
I mean, that makes sense more so if his following is from there. I can see those followings, but no, look, I don't know the Iran and Turkey. I don't really know about bots, to be honest. Like, how do you buy them? I don't know. Do you just buy them through an app?
I assume so. I've never bought one.
Are they real people or are they actually?
No.
Because they can comment though. How do they comment?
Yeah. Well, bots can comment. There are companies that do this for you. That's what they do 24 hours a day. They do comments that look like they're coming from real people and they're not. So
let's steer away from the bot thing.
Yes.
Let's focus on the show itself.
The show itself. Now,
I personally used to love these types of shows growing up. I know you didn't, but I loved the Hills, Laguna Beach, Jersey Shore, Geordie Shore. Come at me, yum, 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 yum. I eat that shit right up.
I don't like these kind of shows because they are produced. The shows go like this. Producers come to you and they say, okay, Angie and Yvie, this is the scene that we're going to be doing today. You two are going to be down on the beach and you're going to be talking about Angie's date that she had last night. And Yvie, you're going to have to let her know that Sarah from up the road wasn't happy about it. So you just do it in your own words, okay? You do it all in your own words. Now, this is where I have the problem. They're not actors.
No.
And they have to write their own scripts and they think they can do both. So what we're getting is garbage talk. You can see them trying to hit the points that the producers have told them they've got to hit, and they fill in the rest with absolute fairy dust. It's just and it's so badly acted. But they think they're really natural about it. And it's just extremely transparent. So I don't actually mind watching that in the Australian version. I liked the Shire like that as well because that was another version.
That was ghastly.
Ghastly, but I like the hate watch of it. See, I didn't get into the Hills. I didn't get into Laguna Beach because they were so far away from me, whereas these ones are in Australia. So I'm watching it for pure the ghastliness of it. But
it is. It's hard to watch sometimes. But the thing is, we have to realise too, yes, they are acting to some degree, but these humans are, as Jade's saying, they are all spinners. They're absolute spinners. They're not...
Spinners? What spinners?
Spinners, like they're cooked. They're cooked units. They're out of control, batshit, in their own world. And Jade's admitted that, so I'm fine to say that. And plus, it's my opinion. I'm allowed to say what I want.
Yeah.
But they are. They're all absolute spinners. They live and they talk like that's not our world. We don't know how those people, but there's people out there that are just off their rocker on themselves. And it's
that's
usually influencers.
Yeah, and they've cast that for that exact reason. Because
So
normal
they're
people
acting,
wouldn't
but they're
really
not.
say no.
That's also
No, they're
them.
acting within themselves. That's the thing, is they're acting out conversations that are not authentic. They're talking in their own words. But they're not script writers, and they shouldn't be script writers.
No.
They should have
It's like
people
taking
being
away from actual script writers and actors that need work.
The only shows that really work like that was Jersey Shore, Geordie Shore, and the Real Housewives franchises, simply because they are also produced and put into situations, but they have real drama with each other.
Yeah.
They just film it and say, but this is what you've got to hit. And they're like, oh, we'll hit that and more.
And they've also formed a relationship over the years to have that extreme drama. Whereas I found with this show, there was so much drama, but we knew none of them. And the things like Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and all that, we know of of Kyle. We know of people who've dated this, and they all come together and they used to date so and so. Whereas this, it's like, who the f is that? Who dat? I don't know who that is. But then we are expected to be invested in their love stories and their confrontations. But it's like, wait, it's episode 2 and you're all blowing up, but I don't know any of you and what triggers you. This is so hard to get into.
It's really clear that most of them don't know each other, and that kind of works on Housewives. They put these housewives together that don't know each other, and that's fine. But this one doesn't work because you can really tell who are the local kids who've been brought up in a weird way in Byron, and you can tell the blow-ins, like the Bachelor guy and the Love Island guy. They Elias, both. One's from Sydney, one's from Melbourne. Like, they are not Byron people, and they live in Byron now. And Jade's the same, and Sarah's the same. They came from the Gold Coast. They don't live.
Why did they call it Byron Baes? Why didn't they just say influencers of Australia? Or wannabe influencers? Because they're not from. There was like 5 of them from Byron, and the rest of them were from. Fly-ins from all over the joint. I think Nathan lives there now and classifies himself.
I think they all live there now, except for Jade.
Oh, I saw one comment because they did a publicity and stuff, and one of the things that Nathan said was, because he used to be on Bachelor at Ali's season and then he did BIP, and one of his things was, I just want to not be remembered for my Bachelorette stints, because once a show like this comes on and it's a worldwide thing, it's Bachelor or Netflix, it's a whole different world and ball game. I'm like, dude, no one remembers you from Bachelorette franchise, and you should be so lucky you were even on there with Ali. Grow up. That really pissed me off.
Yeah. It's all a bit hideous. The only one I like is the skinny guy who takes magnificent photographs.
Kai with a C. I love him. I have a crush on him. He's the sort of guy that I would want to date. Skinny, ratty, arty. Love it.
Me too. And he's a sweetheart. But you can't make a show on him. But you can see he's a Byron Bay boy. He's
wears no shoes, pop stinks a little, love it.
Oh, tote stinks a lot. I'm fine with it. Has a slip and slide in his backyard. It's yes. But no, the show, it's a hate watch for pretty much everyone, I think. I don't think anyone watches and goes, this is such a great show.
I love it.
They're just
I love
oh
the
my
talent.
God, this is the most cringe thing. I cannot look away. I can't stop watching.
Look, I personally didn't love it, but I did watch it for Jade. And Jade is made for reality TV. He will throw anyone under the bus. He is wild, but he's also very lovable. I worked with Jade on The Possessed, and he just has this quality about him, even though he is next level out of control. He is so funny. I don't think they really got to show as much of Jade's good side. I think they showed a lot of him just feeling attacked. Yes. And he is very, very – I would have liked to see more of Jade. I quite liked Hannah as viewing because she's so tweaked, and that's her. That's not acted. She is apparently just like that.
Yeah, and she's a sweetheart as well. I thought
sweet.
First episode, I was like, tell me that by episode 6 that Hannah and Sarah were the ones I was going to like. I wouldn't have believed it. Like,
Which
these
one's
two girls are
Sarah?
lovely. Sarah is the one that's there.
main
is
one?
The internalized misogyny that's going against her. That the girls are like,
Oh.
she's coming and she's splitting two guys up.
That was
Like
rank.
this. Oh my God, it's absolutely hideous.
The rest of the girls were hard to watch, actually.
yeah,
They gave me
really
like
hard to
severe
watch.
anxiety. I liked Hannah and Sarah. I didn't mind.
Sarah.
I feel like she was kind of thrown in there, and the whole story had to be based on her, but she couldn't really carry it. But she
Yeah,
was
that's
very
right.
sweet.
She was a sweetheart.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say unpopular opinion, but Alex, the protagonist, he's
Oh, see,
funny.
nah, I can't. I'm Team Jade
A
on
lot
that
of people
one.
don't like him.
Nah, couldn't
And
deal.
apparently he's pissed off a lot of people in the industry.
He would just do anything to be like, to me, he wanted to be the bitch because he knew he was going to be spoken about, and he would do anything to get that sweet, sweet airtime. And the only way he could get it was to be a mole. Like, I don't like that.
Yeah. But watching
for it.
him be a bitch and then Jade go next level on him was
Yeah, but there would have
absolutely
been so
hideous
much
to
we didn't
watch.
see, I reckon.
Oh, so
I reckon.
much.
I reckon
But
he would have
what we
prodded
did see-
Jade to the
Yeah.
limit of Jade exploding
I
because
don't
Jade
think-
can
I
cop
reckon
it.
they've just said, ask Alex what his problem is with you, and he's said it to him, and he's just exploded straight away because he
I mean, I
went
can always
straight
ask.
for the truth. He went straight to the truth. You have fake followers, and he's gone crazy.
Well, let's hope you and Jade never end up in the same room.
Oh, I hope we do.
Really?
I want to
No,
touch that porn moustache on his face.
Yeah, that's a sensational porn mode.
Oh, yeah. It's all, vacuous humans that is what these kind of influencers are. And I'm okay to just go, get a life. Like, and you've got one. I know you've got one, but it's not authentic. And you're not,
but we eat.
you're not
People
doing
seem
much.
to eat that up. Eat that
Yeah,
up
they do.
these
And
days.
it's a sad state of affairs. Sad
It is a
state
one.
of
This
affairs.
is the world we
And
live
it's
in.
okay with
Kardashian
us.
vibes.
Yep, that's right. And it's okay for us to say that, to say, if this is what gives you joy, you need to really have a good hard look at yourself, because this is so fake, and it's fine to have compartmentalize this and have it in a tiny little bit in your life, but this is not entertainment in a joyful way for me, that other people are like, oh my God, now I want to have a big butt. Oh my God, now I want to get my lips done. Oh my God, I want to take photos like that and use all of those filters. And oh my God, like, this is such a good life that they're living. Like, this is not a good life to live. Everything that goes on behind the scenes of an influencer is not at all what you see. It's not at all what you see, and they are presenting lies. So that's the problem I have with it. And this show just really exacerbates that. You're seeing, so
Feeds
watch
one's anger bodies, one could say.
Yeah, well, it certainly feeds mine. But
Go watch it anyway. Go binge it on the
Yeah.
Netflix. You can watch every single episode. I think there's 8 of them. And
Do you
let us
think
know
it'll come
what
back?
you think. Depends how it's gone overseas, I think. How
Right.
they've I think
The
I think
sales,
here it's been not received very well. But I think maybe America or the UK, maybe, but their reality shows are so good. So it's hard.
yeah.
It's hard to tell. Maybe one more. Let's just watch this space, shall we?
The UK and the US, if they love it, it'll be because it's quintessentially Australian. It's the same bitchiness with really cute accents to them.
Ew.
So who knows?
I can't.
Let's watch and wait. Well, that's us. All right.
That is us. We hope you've enjoyed this rant.
Thank you for listening. Please don't forget to rate and review us from any of the podcast applications that you have on your devices. Give us the 5 stars. Give us the stars. Tell us what you think. And if you want to DM us, you can. Angie and Yvie on Instagram or Facebook. We love you.
Love you.
You have the day.
Oh.
Have the day you deserve.
deserve.